So, something's a little different about this year's flu season. You might be feeling it too. Around the world, health authorities are noticing that it's starting earlier, and it seems to be spreading faster than we'd expect. Well, the investigation points to one new culprit, a variant known as Subclade K. So today we're going to break down exactly what that means for all of us.
Okay, let's just dive right in. The big question on everyone's mind is this season really that unusual? Or is this just, another typical winter bug going around? Well, that's precisely what global health authorities have been trying to figure out, and honestly, the signals are getting pretty hard to ignore.
And right off the bat, the answer seems to be a pretty clear yes. According to the World Health Organization, in several key regions, flu activity is kicking off earlier and higher than typical. Now, this isn't just a feeling people have. This is an observation based on hard data, and it's definitely put epidemiologists worldwide on alert. And what's really striking here is just how widespread this is. I mean, look at this. In Europe, the season kicked off about 4 weeks ahead of schedule. We're seeing a similar early start in Japan and the Republic of Korea. And if you go all the way to the southern hemisphere, places like New Zealand and Fiji are reporting unusually high levels of flu for this time of year. So this isn't just one isolated hotspot, it's a global pattern.
Okay, so if the season is this unusual, what's behind it? What's causing it? Well, like any good investigation, this one has a prime suspect, and it's a well-known family of flu viruses called Influenza H3N2. And this is where you really see the power of global disease surveillance in action. You've got labs in over 100 countries constantly sharing data, and that data is telling a very, very consistent story. This one particular virus is popping up again and again as the main driver.
Let's look at the evidence, piece by piece, starting in the Northern Hemisphere. The data is just crystal clear. Since about September, cases caused by H3N2 have absolutely skyrocketed, making it the dominant strain by a huge margin.
Now let's jump across the globe to the Southern Hemisphere. And what do we see? The exact same pattern. While they had other strains circulating earlier in their season, H3N2 completely took over as the primary virus there too, starting right around September.
And for our last piece of the puzzle, the tropical regions. And, yep, you guessed it, sustained activity, with H3N2 becoming the dominant force at the end of September. So, the crucial takeaway here is that this isn't a local issue, it's a coordinated worldwide shift. But wait, the story doesn't stop there. The plot actually thickens quite a bit, because scientists have drilled down even further, and they have identified the specific version of H3N2 that's causing all this trouble. So, it's time for the big reveal. Let's talk about Subclade K. And this is the key twist in the whole story. You see, flu viruses are always making tiny little copying errors as they spread. It's a process called genetic drift. You can think of it like a global game of telephone. Usually the changes are pretty minor, but this year, one specific change has created a version that is incredibly good at spreading, and it has definitely caught everyone's attention.
So, what exactly is Subclade K? Well, simply put, it's an evolved version of the H3N2 virus. You might also see it called by its scientific alias, J2.4.1. The easiest way to think of it is as a new, distinct branch that has just sprouted on the huge influenza family tree.
This really lays out the difference. On one side, you've got your standard flu. On the other, Subclade K. The key difference is a few amino acid changes in its genetic code. Think of these like small changes to the keys the virus uses to unlock our cells. And apparently these new keys are working very well, because since August, detections of this specific subclade have just been climbing and climbing. And just how rapid is that spread? Well, this number is pretty stunning. Subclade K has already been found in more than 34 countries, and that's across multiple continents. It's just a crystal clear sign of how quickly a successful new virus variant can make its way around our interconnected world. So, okay, we have a new, fast-spreading variant on our hands. That naturally leads to two really critical questions, right? First, is it more dangerous? And second, how well do our vaccines actually hold up against it? Let's tackle those right now.
First up, the most important question for our health, obviously. Does this new genetic drift, this Subclade K, does it cause more severe illness than the flu strains we're used to dealing with?
And here we have some genuinely good news, and this comes directly from the World Health Organization. Based on all the data they've gathered so far, there is no indication of an increase in disease severity. So, phew. While it has changed and is spreading really well, it doesn't seem to be making people sicker on average, which is a huge relief. All right,
On to that second crucial question. We all know the flu vaccine is developed months in advance based on scientists' best predictions. So with this newly emerged Subclade K now on the scene, how well does the 2025 vaccine actually match up?
This quote from the European CDC really gets to the heart of it. Yes, technically there's a genetic mismatch. But think of it like this. The vaccine trained our immune system to recognize a specific type of getaway car. This new virus, Subclade K, is driving a slightly different model, maybe a different color, but it's similar enough that our immune system can still spot it and, crucially, prevent the worst outcomes, like severe disease and hospitalization. And that's exactly why it remains such a vital tool.
And some early data really helps illustrate this point. This shows the estimated vaccine effectiveness at keeping people out of the hospital. It's stopping about 70 to 75% of hospitalizations in kids and 30 to 40% in adults. So, no, it's not a perfect shield, but preventing that many severe cases has a massive, massive impact on our healthcare system and on people's lives.
So, knowing all this, what can we actually do about it? Let's wrap up by looking at the personal toolkit we can all use to navigate this flu season.
These are the proven, high-impact actions we can all take. First and foremost, get vaccinated. It is still your single best defense against getting seriously ill. After that, it's the fundamentals we all know. Wash your hands frequently and cover your coughs and sneezes. Then think about wearing a mask if you're feeling sick or if you're in a crowded indoor place. And maybe most importantly, if you feel sick, please stay home to protect others.
And this really brings us to our final thought. The whole story of Subclade K is just a powerful reminder that the influenza virus is a constantly moving target. It is always changing, always evolving, and that leaves us with a pretty critical question to think about. Are our global surveillance systems and our public health defenses ready for whatever it decides to do next?